And that is the title track of a CD that he put out called We Need the Wind, do we? Brian Scarborough on trombone, Matt Otto on tenor sax, Roger Wilder on Fender Rhodes piano, Jeff Harshberger on bass, Brian Stever on the Skins on drums. This album was released in 2024. 5 minutes till the hour of 11 o'clock. Right now, we're going to be conducting an interview with Iacopo Teolis, Italian trumpeter. He's trying to connect with us, and we don't have the connection right now. But I tell you what, while we're trying to connect with him, we will give you a cut by Art Pepper.
Hello. Hello. Hey, how are you? Can you hear me?
Okay, I'll bring you up after the song's over.
Lovely. Thank you, Kevin.
All right.
And a pleasure to see you.
Pleasure to see you too. I do now? Okay. And that's music by Art Pepper with the Miles Davis Quintet Rhythm section with a cut entitled Star Eyes. And it features Art Pepper on tenor sax. We have Philly Joe Jones on drums, John Coltrane on Philly Joe Jones on drums. We have Red Garland on piano, Paul Chambers on bass, and Art Pepper on tenor sax. Now, Art Pepper, this guy, was a featured soloist for Stan Kenton's band, and also he began playing the saxophone at the age of 13. He was one of the greats. Right now, we're going to feature music from a trumpeter from Italy. He has a fine CD out on the market called The Moving Forest. His name is Iacopo Teolis. You better listen to this guy. He is very, very good. How you doing today?
Hello, Kevin. Thank you for having me. And thank you for liking my music. I'm really happy about it.
Oh, yeah. It's a very fine CD. Let me ask you this. What made you give that CD the title, The Moving Forest?
So I think the title, The Moving Forest, it actually comes from the Macbeth by William Shakespeare, because it's that part where he speaks to the three witches, and they say that the forest is moving, and they use this metaphor to tell him that the enemies are coming, are getting closer and closer. And that's like the specific quote, but at the same time, to me, the moving forest represents like my idea of music, of like this forest of sounds that move together, and like the single tree is like, it does exist by itself, but like put together with other trees, they make the forest. So in this sense, the music that I composed and written for the instruments and musicians that are in the band, they have to coexist to make the music exist, So that's the idea behind the title of
Okay, so
of the album.
The wind that you hear in the forest could be like a flute, could it?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you are a big fan of William Shakespeare.
I did, yeah, I do like a lot of stuff that he wrote. It is very hard for me as an Italian to read Shakespeare, like in the original English that he used, because it's very different from modern English, and, it's very difficult for us. But at the same time, reading the translation into Italian, it always made me like the stories are really like about human beings and like all the aspects of the human beings and human minds, and they're really like fascinating to me. So yeah, for sure.
Well, let me ask you this. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, and how did you become interested in music?
Okay, so I'm from Rome. I was born and raised in Rome. And I started when I was 6 years old with the drums. And then I started playing a year later some African percussion, the ewe from Ghana, Togo, and Benin. And then when I was 9, I listened to Le Bien Rouge by Louis Armstrong while I was painting in an art class in the elementary school. So I got back home and I was like, I need to play the trumpet, because like Louis Armstrong's sound on Le Bien Rouge when he plays the melody is like the most beautiful sound I've ever heard. So since then I started with the trumpet, and it's always been like my biggest like passion, and like it's always been there. So I literally grew up with music and with the trumpet. So that's what made it all start. And then I kept practicing and playing, and then I went to Siena Jazz, which is a very great institution in Siena, in Tuscany, where I graduated at the bachelor and the master program. And now I just finished another master program at the Royal Academy of Music in London. So yeah, a lot of studying as per usual, but
So you basically are a trained musician.
Pardon?
You are basically a trained musician?
I am, yes.
Okay.
I am, yeah.
Okay.
composer as well, and
Okay. So you do you know how to play by ear also, don't you?
yes, as a kid, like you listen to music and you like something and you want to emulate something, and then you like a sound and you want to emulate that sound, and you try to, to read music, but also to listen to music at the same time. So yeah, I remember a lot of the music that I was listening to back in the days was like Louis Armstrong, and then on YouTube, because it was like basically brand new. Then there was some suggestions to listen to Miles. So, new sounds come along, and then Chet Baker, and then, all these great musicians. And that was the way of like exploring the trumpet and jazz itself right from the beginning. So I think listening and hearing sound is the most important thing. It's the base of everything, I would say.
So Satchmo is basically your main influence.
He's the starting point for sure. And then I listen to like all the old guys, but also the modern trumpeters. So I would say that like all of them are part of like, I really like all of them. I wouldn't be able to say like, I don't like that guy, or like, I don't, like they're all really great. So yeah, I think it was the one that made it all start for sure.
Okay. Have you? What do you think about Miles Davis? Do you listen to Clifford Brown or Lee Morgan?
Oh yeah, all of them. I told you all of them. I love all of them. Clifford Brown articulation and like the phrasing and the like the harmony, the way he thinks about harmony, and like he plays lines over the harmony is like brilliant. And there is a video on YouTube where he practices just him, and it's incredible because you can hear him like studying and like doing stuff and looking for like new phrases and stuff and practicing them for real. And then Lee Morgan, like the soul, you can always hear the soul of Lee Morgan, And all those albums with Wayne Shorter, all the composition that Wayne Shorter wrote for Lee Morgan, they seem to be like tailored on Lee Morgan's sound, and that became the sound of his band. So Miles is just like still like a forward thinker, because he's like all his bands, like the music in new directions and stuff. So it's like literally all of them has got like peculiar thing that like made them great, and like we still all love them and listen to them and still inspire, and they will never stop doing that, So yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you like one that I don't like, to be honest.
So you said that you play a variety of instruments. What instruments do you play besides the trumpet?
I used to play the drums. I practiced the drums for like 10 years, I think. And then I quit because I had to focus on the trumpet. I felt like I had to focus on the trumpet, but then I still play the African percussions, the airway African percussions from Togo, Ghana, and Benin, and they're like completely different from what like jazz, like what we do like in a jazz setting, But I think playing, it's like all those, all the jazz people, they do recommend to play piano, which is surely important, but I would recommend to play the drums as well, because it gives you like the foundation of the rhythm and the African foundation, African American.
Okay. All right. So what instruments would you say that you're most proficient at?
Now all the others are still there, like it is a passion, but it's surely like I'm a trumpeter. But yeah.
So basically the trumpet is your main instrument.
Absolutely, yeah. Without question.
Okay. Now what genre of music do you like the most, jazz or classical music?
That's a very hard question. I don't think they are separate in a way. Probably the environments now are very separate, but like if you go back listening to all like the composers and you listen to like, I don't know, Duke Ellington talking about it, they always mention like the great classical composers. So I always think like it is not divided at all. So just saying it's classical and jazz is like something that we say in order to relate to it like quicker. But there is a very continuous way of like, if you look specific, like if you go into it very specifically, you can see like the development of classical elements into jazz instruments. If you see like the so-called first stream, um, or the albums that like, for example, like one artist that comes to mind, one jazz artist that comes to mind is Dave Douglas, and all the instruments that he used, like especially early on, like violin and cello, and like all the main instruments of classical music, they're into jazz and they've always been there, kind of. So I don't think there is a separation in a way. Um, with that said, I really love like symphonic music, and it has been my main inspiration to get the sound of bassoon and cello into my ears. But at the same time, I grew up with, yeah, as I said, with all these amazing trumpeters and singers and jazz albums. So those two are like a parallel tracks that go on, and then will never stop being there for me, I think.
What do you like about Dave Douglas's trumpet playing?
Dave Douglas is just a very, very, very great trumpeter. And for me, he has been like the first trumpeter that like invited me to assist to some of his rehearsal. He got me, I don't want to say under his wing, but like I could say like I grew up with him because I met him when I was 13, and he invited me to a big band rehearsal that he had in Rome. And then I met him like very casually, but like consistently throughout the years. And then I studied with him both the trumpet and composing and arranging, and like we dig into all these aspects of like orchestrating this music for cello and bassoon. So I like everything about David. He's a great composer, he's a great arranger, he's a great trumpeter, he's a great improviser. His sound is killing. So I really like everything about him.
What I don't understand
about it.
Okay, what I don't understand is why isn't he more internationally known?
I don't know. We should start talking about the market of this music, which is like a very different topic, I would say, and it's not related. It's not always related to you are like the beautiful music that you play, but like it's the market is another thing. So even if it's not like touring constantly all around the world, it still is, I think, a forward thinker, and also I would say one of the first modern trumpeters. So one like not the new or whatever, but one of the first that started like pushing the trumpet in another direction and exploring sounds and stuff, and like different bands and different musicians and different like all that stuff that he did early on, and this keep going and this keeping doing. So I wouldn't be able to tell you why. Just know that it's really good.
Yeah, I've played some of his music on my show in the past, and it's very interesting. Very interesting. So
it is incredible.
Oh yeah.
And I would say that this composition and the development of like all his songs are always very, I would say that very Italian in a way, to be honest with you. Like the melody is always like very, very important. And like all of his tunes have got like some of his tunes have got like a very simple melody and very singable melody with great harmony behind it. So it's never like, there is always something that is like interesting and always new in a way. But it's also like, I don't want to say easy, but like you can relate it, like it resonates with you like right away. But then if you dig into it, you always find something that is very smart and very clever and very like, there's a sharp behind it, like it's this, a sparkle, sorry. There's a sparkle in all of these compositions. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
So would you say that jazz and classical music are intertwined?
I would say so. I mean, like to all the musicians that I talk to, none of them don't listen to classical music. Like we are all into classical music, as a lot of people are also like into hip hop and into R&B and like into other stuff, like it's just music. It's just like either good music or bad music, or like the one that you like and the one that you don't like in the end. So I think like saying I play jazz, I play classical, yeah, it does make a difference for sure. But at the same time, it's also, as a musician, as an artist, it doesn't have to be like, I do like classical, I don't like jazz, and blah, 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 yes.
So, who are your influences?
My influences are surely all the trumpeters that we mentioned, and surely also I really like Ambrose Akinmus here, and Philip Dizak, and I studied with Ralph Alessi, Abishai Cohen for sure, literally all of them. But also, like, I love the sound of cello and the sound of the bassoon, and I try, and Roy Hargrove, like all these three things, they do merge into the flugel and the sound that I want to achieve on flugel. So it's, yeah, different stuff put together, and I think that's the way I've been thinking about it a lot, and I've been talking about it a lot with a lot of my friends. And I think it's like all the influences that you have, and like your point of view on all these people from the past is what makes you you, and what creates your own sound, and what creates your own music and your artistry and all the stuff. You know? So the more it is, the better it is, because you have like more references and stuff. So yeah, a lot of music and a lot of
Okay, so tell me about this
musicians, to be honest.
Siena Jazz University that you attended.
Oh yeah, Siena Jazz has been my home for almost 10 years, because I went there in 2016 when I was just 17. So I was still in high school. I didn't know I wanted to be a musician in life. I really loved music as per usual, but I didn't know like music could be a possibility in a way, you know? Um, so I went there the first time for the summer workshop, where I met a lot of incredible artists and musicians from all around the world, and both students and teachers. And then I was like, okay, I want to be a musician.
Okay. Well, it looks like we lost the connection right now, but I guess his phone cut off. I will try to get him back. What we're going to do right now, we're going to play a little Donald Byrd music from his classic 1972 album Blackbird. We're going to give you the title track. Okay, I was playing a little Donald Byrd there. We're back with
Oh wow, lovely.
Iacopo, and now we were talking about that Siena University that you attended. You said you attended Siena Jazz University. You said that you attended there for 10 years. Tell me about that.
Yes, exactly. I'm sorry about the connection.
That's all right. Things
I
happen.
did that. I did attend 10 years at the university because I did several summer workshop, literally every summer for 10 years. And then I also did the bachelor and the master program in like literally in the middle of those 10 years. And that has been home it's still home in a way, because it's always a place that I go back to, and like where I've met all the people that I still play with, all the musicians that have influenced me, the modern musicians that influenced me, and the people that I really want to play with in life, and the people that I'm doing all the projects with. For example, Stefano Zambon and Luca Caruso, which are double bass and drums on my album The Moving Forest. I met them at Siena Jazz, and it would have, a lot of stuff would have not happened if it wasn't for Siena Jazz and for the people that work there, like Iacopo Guidi and Caterina Di Perri. So yeah, it's a beautiful place, and it's a beautiful school. It's a great school. It's a great program, and I would seriously recommend to any jazz student to go there in the summer for the summer workshop, and if you live in Italy, to study there during the winter. So yeah.
Do you teach there?
Not yet. Hopefully, I will soon. But yeah, that would be a dream, to be honest.
Okay, that is your goal.
It is one of mine. Yeah, for sure. I would say so, because I would really love to teach in places where I've been, and where I spent very good quality time, and Siena is surely one of them. So I would love to do so. Yeah, we'll have the chance. We'll see.
Okay, so how long were you a resident of London?
I studied in London for 2 years, so I just finished my second master there. So I moved there in September 2024, and I literally moved back to Italy last Friday, like a week ago. So yeah, 2 full years. I've been long, tough, beautiful, but yeah, overall like an incredible experience. And yeah, it's a great school, great musicians, great students. Very, very like like same as Siena. After it was hard for me at first, because like moving to a new school after I had such an amazing experience in an institution where I learned and met so many people. You go into another one, like in another country, different language, different culture, and a lot of different things, and you always kind of compare it in a way, but like to me this has been surely like a great experience. So yeah.
Okay, so did you ever go to the famous jazz clubs, Ronnie Scott's? Did you ever get a chance to perform there? Did you get a chance to sit in, or what?
Yeah, I had a chance to. There are many jam sessions, and I had a chance to see like a lot of great artists from the States performing there. So yeah, Ronnie Scott's is one of the amazing places in London. There is another one. It's called Club 606, where I had the chance last month to sit in with Orlando Fleming, the great bass player,
Okay.
and his trio, and we played 3 songs, and that was incredible. It is not a thing that happens that much anymore. I was talking about it last night with a friend of mine, a great guitar player from Italy, and we were saying that like all the stories from the great masters of this music, the people that still like contemporary musicians, they always tell you like 30 years ago they had the chance to sit in with Elvin John's band, or like Jazz Passengers or whatever, and that it always feels like they've got more opportunities to do so. It's probably because I'm in Italy also, so I don't know. It's probably different from New York for sure, but at the same time, it was great to sit in with Orlando's band, because like you are on stage with someone that you've been listening to on records and transcribing and listening to the music, and like going to concerts and check him out because he's one of them, So yeah, that was like a great opportunity, to be honest.
So, are there any jazz clubs in Italy?
There are. The good thing about Italy is that we're full of jazz festivals and clubs all around the place, and they do play music all year round, and that's great because like we also got great food, as you know. So I think a lot of musicians love to come here and play gigs and tour, which is great for us because we got the opportunity to see like the Americans, so called, um, playing there.
Okay, did you study under Roy Hargrove?
I unfortunately just did a masterclass once with Roy. Um, but I did listen to Roy for like 3 or 4 years, like literally just three or no, a bit more, like 5 or 6 albums for like 6 years, um, just non-stop. So yeah, that was one of my main influence for sure. Roy is like the one.
Hmm. It's unfortunate that he's no longer with us.
It is very unfortunate, and also like to all the people that you speak to. I don't know. I spoke to Ambrose about him, and I spoke to. I always actually that's something I always do. To every people that I know that studied and hang out with Roy, I always ask them what was it like? How was his sound live? How was hanging out with him? What would you do? What would you practice together? What like constantly asking everybody questions about Roy because I think it was one of the everyone relates to him as being one of the real ones. So this is surely like a great loss for everybody, but not only as a musician because he did record a lot of music, but also and especially as an educator and for the community.
Okay, so I saw him perform at the Sheldon here in St. Louis. He There was a concert that he was performing with Herbie Hancock, Brian Blade, John Patitucci, and they were celebrating the 75th birthdays of Miles and Coltrane. So I had the pleasure of seeing him perform, and I'm glad I did.
Was that Directions in Music by any chance?
That was Directions in Music, yes. They
With
all,
Michael Breger as well.
yeah,
That album is incredible.
yes,
That
I have
album
it.
is insane.
Yes,
that
yes.
that both the live recording, but also um, the album itself, but also there's the live session. I don't remember where it is, but those two incredible, incredible.
Yes, it was. And they also did a concert at Massey Hall in Toronto, Canada. And I had the CD, and it's a very, very good CD.
I think that's the album, right? That's the live recording of Directions in Music,
That's the album.
the one that
That's
made
the
the
album.
album.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right.
incredible,
Okay.
unbelievable.
So, have you won any awards yet?
I did win some awards here in Italy. One is called Young Visionary, and that was related to the album The Moving Forest. And they gave me the award because of like this vision apparently that I had about writing music for cello and bassoon in a jazz setting. And then I won two more that are called Next Jazz Generation, but you win them with a band. So I won the one in 2024 with a band that is called Wasted Generation. Because we made an album with that was produced by Joe Sanders, the great bass player, and then I won the same prize the year after with another band that is called Teolis Simoni, which is a duo that I have with this alto player Lorenzo Simoni, and we recorded a duo album, trumpet and alto sax, which is quite challenging to say the least.
Okay.
Yeah, but these awards are always like very important. Like receiving them is incredible, but there are a lot of musicians that don't receive awards that are still incredible. So I don't know. Yeah.
All right, getting back to Dave Douglas. Now, doing the research on you, now, Dave Douglas, was he a guide in the making of The Moving Forest?
Yes, absolutely. Dave Douglas has been like the one that led me to new paths and gave me like a new point of view on a lot of stuff. So with him, what I did with him was basically doing this lesson during the pandemic, and every lesson I would send him like one of the tunes that are in the album, and he would always give me like so many feedbacks and like new ideas and like try these and try that. So like I would go back and try them all, and they all worked out. They always like they elevate. Like he was able to elevate the music so much with all the experience that he has, both as a trumpeter, as a composer, as an orchestrator, as a producer. So he surely, yeah, yeah. With like, there is no more to add to that. One very nice thing is that I asked him to write the liner notes for the album, and then at first it wasn't possible because of like the label and blah blah blah. But then I remember one morning I woke up with an email from him with the liner notes in it, and they've been like, we never talked like. I think musicians, especially jazz musicians, probably they don't really say to each other what they think, because it's always like, but that's probably like also a human thing. Like we never say like, I really like, like you're my brother, or like I really like you, or like I really like love you as a friend, or like I really like your writing, you're a great musician stuff. So when I received those liner notes that are in the album, um like he's had like amazing stuff. I was like, this is incredible. Like I was so honored to have like something so beautiful from a person that like I literally grew up with, like looking up to, and I still do, for sure. But knowing, like receiving back, not receiving back, but like literally receiving something from him has been like, um, the music stuff was more than enough for me. But then actually reading in words, what it actually thinks, it's been pretty, yeah, incredible.
So, how well is the CD selling? The moving forest.
It I think it's been done. It's been doing good. I think that's my first one, so I don't have any comparison with anything else. And so I think good.
So, are you planning on performing in the States anytime soon?
Not soon, unfortunately. We need visas and stuff. So for internationals, it's not easy, and visas cost a lot of money. And I would love to, but we'll see.
Okay. So, are you working on any new projects for the future?
Yes, I am. I think we're gonna record a duo album with Lorenzo, the same alto player that we recorded the previous one with, and then wanna do a trio record. And this music has been written and ready for. It is about Rochko Seagram murals, which is a set of painting that he painted years ago, and they are in London. And then, yeah, probably an orchestra in a couple of years, like a larger orchestra. So expanding the sextet, yeah, a lot of stuff. Too much, probably.
Okay. Well, if you ever come to the States, come to St. Louis and play at Jazz St. Louis. I'd like to see you play.
Oh, I love that. I love that. It will happen. It will happen, I'm sure.
Okay. All right. Well, that's Iacopo Teolis, very fine Italian
Thank you.
trumpeter. And I'm glad to I got the honor to interview you. And keep putting that music out and let me know whenever you put it out.
I will. I surely will. Kevin, I really want to thank you, because like being interviewed is really important, I think, for artists, and it is important for artists today to talk about music, and to especially to say what it means to make an album, and what it means, the meaning behind every tune, the meaning behind everything that happens. Because like a lot of people see like the CD in their hands, or they stream it now, like on Spotify, and not great companies, let's say that. So like having the chance to talk about it, and having someone like from literally across the world, and we never met, we just met on Facebook, and we're talking live for the first time right now. And you interviewed me, and like you played my music over your show for the last year. This is something that really means a lot. So I really want to thank you, because this is not for granted, first of all, and it really does mean a lot. So thank
All
you.
right. Thank you very much. And I hope to hear some more music from you soon. All right.
I hope so as well.
Okay. You
Bye.
Okay, you take care and have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Ciao, ciao.
Anytime. All right. And what we're going to do right now, we're going to finish out music by Mr. Donald Byrd. We're going to continue to give you the title track of his great 1972 jazz funk album, Blackbird.
Check it out, Blackbird shouting out.